Hello everyone, and welcome to a premiere draft of Strixhaven. Okay. Well, the Mortality Spear is the pick. There's like no question about it. It is just an amazing card. Now, I do understand the Cody could be crazy good as a first pick too, because you can really draft around the card. But then again, the deck would have to work also when you don't draw Cody. I'm not sure I have the kind of courage to do that. But I don't actually have to worry about it because I'm almost complete in the Strixhaven set. But I have the most I need to still collect are the Mystical Archive Mythic rares, and their drop rate from the pack is like 1 in 15. So I think I should at this point just pick all the Mythic rares from the Mystical Archive that I see. And I have only 3 of these, so this will basically means I need to collect 15 packs fewer of the Strixhaven to actually complete the set. So I will take a Tainted Pact even though it's not very good in Limited. I think it might get banned in Constructed as well. I don't know, I'm not sure the latest ban hasn't happened, but I think the Tainted Pact Thassa's Oracle deck has been quite good. In Constructed, so this might actually get a ban, but who cares? I will collect Mystical Archive no matter what. I mean all the banned cards, all the ones that are already banned as a get-go. So anyway, I took this because I want to complete the set, and this is the biggest bottleneck, Mystical Archive Mythic race. Now, but I think I would have taken the Mortality Spear over the Cody in that pack. I just like the consistency more, but I do realize Cody can, be a part of an amazing deck too. Witherbloom Apprentice would be a great follow-up after the Mortality Spear. It might still be the pick here over Decisive Denial and the monocolored cards here. Mage Hunter's Onslaught is good, but this is just a high quality 2-drop. Now it's very sad that I did pass the black-green Great Uncommon, which might be the next pick if the neighbor doesn't take the Cody there. But I just like this so much. This is one of the better, if not the best, Apprentice. Okay, and getting a Blood Researcher here is actually quite nice too. Now, there is an Environmental Scientist, which is a high pick, but this actually combines very well with the Witherbloom Apprentice. So maybe I'll take it. I think I'm gonna put the Tainted Pact. I mean, you can play this in Limited. Just if you exile a basic land, you basically have to keep it unless you really don't need the lands, because this can whiff very easily when you have like multiple of a basic land in your deck. But yeah, it's not a demonic tutor. That would be great in Limited for 2 mana. I think I'll take the Researcher because the life gain focused Witherbloom can be quite great. And now this is just great. I mean, I of course wish that I don't wish that I had something else in the Mystical Archive slot so that I could have taken the Mortality Spear. I really like that I got a Mythic rare from the Mystical Archive. I haven't gotten them with any high frequency, but this could be a pretty amazing deck if I took that card. Now, there's still a Leech Fanatic which synergizes very well with this thing. There's a Mage Duel, great removal, another Blood Researcher, there's Infused with Vitality which also synergizes here well, and then there is a Fractal Summoning which is a great, lesson to have in any green deck. So there are 5 cards I would be happy to pick. Also something good like Combat Professor, Quandrix Apprentice, Tesseret's Gambit. I think I have to take the Mage Duel. I don't have to take it, but it's Mage Duel over Infused with Vitality, I think. Mage Duel is just so good most often. It doesn't... Yeah, I just take the Mage Duel there. Oh, what a... wow. This archetype is so open. I'll take the Overgrown Arch over the Blood Researcher, but this is like a... How many of these have I passed? It's so sad that if the neighbor goes to black-green, that might mean that pack 2 isn't going to be that good, but at least pack 3, based on these picks, is going to be pretty great for me. I'll take the Arch, it is just so great. I just want that all the Blood Researchers I passed. I mean, I would like to play in this deck all the Blood Researchers, but I just had the other picks being some better options. I will take the Karok now. It's usually not a card I'm that interested in playing, but if it so happens that I still keep getting these Blood Researchers, it's going to be a playable card. Also, Archway Commons would be the next pick out of this pack, and I don't plan to play this card unless I make a splash. And usually I don't want to splash, so I think this is kind of like a very easy pick here. Okay, the Witherbloom Pledge Mage is better than a Campus Guide, Prismari seems to be open based on the colors here too. Negate. Arcane Subtraction is quite nice card, but I'm not splashing blue here. It is going to be Professor's Warning or the Campus Guide. Oh, I mean, I guess it could be the let's say I will only play this card if I splash for something, and I think if I splash for something, I might take the Archway Commons instead. But I'm not planning on splashing, so let's take the Professor's Warning. It's a completely playable, trick. Okay. So Scarlet Colony is not bad, Witherbloom Campus is not bad, and Interaction to Annihilation would be a fine pick here too, but I just like to have these mana fixing here. Like I always say, I don't like to run 9-8 mana bases. I want to have more sources for both of my main colors, and these campuses are of course the way to do it in this set. Okay, Leech Fanatic, great, but sadly all the Blood Researchers will probably have been picked now. If I get even one of them, that would be fantastic. A big play isn't bad either, but this is of course the pick to make here. Okay, Agonizing Remorse. I would have definitely... I don't recall if this pack had a blood Researcher or that was this pack the one where I picked it. Pick number 11, doesn't matter. I'm still happy to pick this one. It's a playable one. And okay, this pack definitely had the Blood Researcher, but I'm happy about the Infuse with Vitality too. Okay, this is a Premier Draft best of one. Tangle Trap isn't really a playable one in that. A main deck playable card, so let's not take it. It is definitely an excellent card to have in a sideboard of a best of 3 deck. Okay, so this is actually 10 non-land cards, but there are still cards I could cut. Agonizing Remorse, Professor's Warning, even Moldering Karok is a card I'm willing to cut. If I'm not gonna end up with more than one Blood Researcher, I'm not gonna play the Karok unless I need like 4 drops specifically. Or maybe if I get some pump effects, because with big plays, for instance, this is of course a lot better, because this just doesn't roll well with other 4 drops, and definitely not with 5 drops, so that's the problem. 3-3 stat line for a 4 drop is quite small, and Trample and Lifelink, our Lifelink is of course a nice ability to always have for a creature, but the Trample doesn't do much here unless you get to, pump its power somehow. So this in combination with pump effects is of course a fine card to run, but so far Professor's Warning is the only pump effect available for me. I guess there's a Mage Duel, it's also quite nice with the Karok. Okay, there's a Lightning Bolt, which is a splashable card. Sadly, splashing red into Witherbloom is kinda... Yeah, you could still do it. Let's say if this pack had nothing I'm actually care about, picking a Lightning Bolt, maybe a Heated Debate somewhere, it would be a reasonable thing to splash. But the problem is that I can't benefit from any of those nice golden cards the set has, because there's no black-green or red-green golden cards, so that a red splash would be limited to only mono-red cards, so there are fewer options to splash. But I think here is Fractal Summoning. I want to have my first lesson. I have the nice learn card and hopefully find more learn cards. So Fractal Summoning is the pick here. Over the Professor of Zoomancy. Exponential Growth, and well, that's not such a very good card. I guess it's nice with the Karok, but Karok Wrangler, it's also fine, but I have a 5-drop already. I'll just take the lesson now. That is a very powerful lesson indeed. Okay, there's an Emergent Sequence and a Professor of Zoomancy. There's Arrogant Poet and another Fractal. I don't think I take another Fractal now. If I had like a ton of more, well, not ton, but let's say 2 more learn cards, and this would be my only lesson, I could take another one. But I think now it doesn't seem like that important of a pick, and the decision is between the Emergent Sequence and the Professor of Zoomancy. I do like the mana acceleration quite a bit, so maybe I'll just take that. Yep. Basic Conjuration is good. Leech Fanatic is good. I don't have a lot of sacrifice fodder for this thing, so I don't pick that one. And there's a nice 2-drop, but it's not really that amazing. I think I'll take the nice lesson here. It is a very good option to have. This also gains 3 life, which could be relevant. 4 life gains energies, and sometimes if you just need to lead a bit more of a life buffer. Yeah, let's take the nice lesson. Okay, so good options still. There's a Campus, always nice. when I have only one of them, it's definitely great to have a second one. There's the rare land. I think with one campus I might take the rare land because this comes untapped at times. But there's still Pledge Mage, Pest Summoning, and a Field Trip. It's not gonna be an easy decision. I don't have a lot to accelerate into. So Field Trip, I'm not sure if I want to have it. But I think it's still the pick. It's quite nice, and the combination, the play, of playing a Field Trip and getting a Fractal Summoning is quite nice. You get the land to make this bigger, and you get the card itself. Alright, so definitely this archetype isn't that open to this direction. Sadly, both the blood researchers got picked, and of course there are people interested in Witherbloom now to my left, so I don't get that amazing cards. I don't think I'm gonna try those sacrifice snatches that much in here. I'll just take the introduction to Annihilation. I have now 2 learn cards, so getting more lessons is definitely nice. Okay, here though, I really like the Umbral Duke here. Inkling Summoning would be a nice lesson to have too, but I think I like the Duke a little bit more. I don't have, the interaction side of this deck is quite limited. There's like a Mage Duel, and that's it. So I think I'll take this because sometimes the sacrifice ability can come in handy. Okay, well, I guess okay, there are nice cards here, but I'll take the Crushing Disappointment. Probably not gonna play it, but it's the only card for me here. Okay, well, this pack has 3 cards I want to have, so another Umbral Duke would be definitely interesting. Pledge Mage is nice, and the Expanded Anatomy is a great lesson to have. I have here 14 non-land, so I might not end up short on playables, assuming also that this Witherbloom will be open in the pack 3, so I think I'll take the Anatomy over the Umbral Duke, which I think I would take over the Silver Quill Apprentice there. But yeah, this pack is quite thick. I'm never gonna play 2 of these cards, so let's take the uncommon. Why not? Yeah, it's not a +1/+1 counter deck really, so let's take the opt. I hope that the pack 3 will have, black-green will be so much more open there that I won't be having, trouble getting to 23 playables here. Yeah, so I do have some life gain cards, like I'm now one more of them, but only only 1 payoff for it, so I don't have to. There's no reason for me to kinda try to go too deep with the life gain cards, because now all I need is life gain payoffs. Assistance doesn't have a lot to return, I don't think. Archway commons for the very small chance that I might be getting a splash in this deck. Yeah, I guess I could play 2 of those if I really need to. Whatever, I'm not gonna play the wall, of course. So. Okay, well, there is a nice rare. Now there's also Eliminate, but this is just completely bonkers. For 3 mana you get a 3/2 Menace, which is already like it's a common that sometimes happens for, I think, for red, and I guess black could have that kind of a common too. Fine stats for a 3-drop. Then this has a ward, pay 3 life, so harder to deal with. But the true craziness about this card is, of course, the Magecraft ability. You'll just get free pest tokens, so it's insane. There's a Rise of X to Witherbloom, Pledge Mage, Environmental Sciences. Like I said, Eliminate, Arrogant Poet. A lot of good cards here for me, but this is obviously the pick here. Okay, there's a Bookworm, and not much else actually. I have 2 of these, so I'm not gonna play any of more. I don't want to even play 2. 1 would be nice, but I would not like to be forced to play 2. So this pack has like an Introduction to Prophecy and a Bookworm. I have 1 Field Trip. I don't have Environmental Sciences yet. But if I get another Field Trip, maybe an Environmental Sciences or something like that, Bookworm will be nice. This is a good lesson, but I have actually good lessons here already to get, so I think I'll take the Bookworm and see if I can make... Oh, and I do have the Emergent Sequence, although that might die, the land. It's not a very reliable way to ramp up, but it is a card that also helps you get more lands. And would I take another sequence here, or the Professor of Assumancy, which is 5 power and 4 toughness for 4 mana is no joke. And I don't have any other 4-drop creature than the Mouldering Karok, which is a lot worse than the Professor of Zoomancy. I have 9 creatures. I think I might take these instead. Yeah, I don't need another sequence here, so I'll take the 4-drop. Okay, so Quandrix Pledge Mage is good also in blue decks that don't have green and green decks that don't have blue. It's so easy to grow this thing. But there's a Master Symmetrist, and it is just great. Also, Leyland Invocation would be good now that I do have a couple of ways to ramp up. But this is just does so much for 4 mana that I think it's gonna be the peak for me here. So no Blood Researchers. I'm pretty sad about it, but not much I can do about it. I guess the Inkling Summoning is gonna be better than Fanatic, Ampli Manager, or the Pledge Mage. Now the Pledge Mage, like I said, is good, but this is a good lesson to have. Okay, well there's a life gain payoff. Oh, there's a... Oh, what? Why are you doing this to me? I have some packs that don't have any clearly excellent choice, but in this pack I have 2 very good choices. This thing is... Why this is so good is that I look at some tempo when you kill a 3 mana creature, and it's nice to kill, 2 mana creatures with 2 mana too. But this can kill the big tokens. So that Trudge, I mean, I have so many ways to gain life. A Trudge would be great, but I have so few ways to kill creatures. I have to take Eliminate there, and I'm pretty sad about passing on the Trudge there. I take the Cram Session. I have enough lessons to get here. Okay, maybe another Expanded Anatomy. I don't think this is an unwilling ingredient deck, so let's take another Expanded Anatomy here. And here to Arrogant Poet is fine. So I didn't get as good pack 3 that I hoped to get. But oh well. I have only 12 creatures here, but I have a couple of learn cards and lessons that make creatures. I actually have quite a few lessons here in the end. Okay, do I play like another Karok here? I just don't like that card so much. I think I might take 20 gems here. Well, it's not 20 gems yet, but this will eventually turn into 20 gems when I open my packs. I'm not gonna play 2 Karoks. I have here a couple of other 4-drops too. I will play the 1 Karok, yeah, but that's gonna be it. So Professor of Zoomancy, Karok, and the Symmetrist will be my 4-drops. I will also play the Crushing Disappointment because currently I'm at 23 non-lands. I'm not going to play Duress. Not very good card in Limited. Even in this set that has a lot of instant and sorceries. It's a good sideboard card, but I don't like to main deck it. And then currently I'm actually playing both of these Professor's Warnings, which is not that bad, but it's not ideal maybe either. I would want to have some, a higher impact card here still, but somehow the pack 3 was a slight disappointment, and it was sad that the Trudge, the very good life gain payoff, had to be in the same pack as the Eliminate. So I would have definitely wanted to have them both. Hence the Pests won't be good here. How about the Assistant now? Yeah, this is not important. I might play the Assistant. I will have to figure out if there are enough stuff to return. Okay, well, this Leech Fanatic I probably can. Do I need so many of them? Well, the Mercurial Transformation can't be cast in this deck, so I don't need that. Charge through. Okay, let's put it there, but I think it's pretty straightforward deck building here now. Yeah, it was a disappointing pack 3. I wanted to have more powerful cards or synergistic cards. I mean, basically having like one more Blood Researcher here would be great. So yeah, this deck definitely hurts in power level because I did pick the Tainted Pact over the removal spell, and it also might have, not put neighbors into black-green if I didn't pass the removal spell. But it's the cost of, mythic rare drafting, and if I want to finish the set in the next 5 to 10 drafts, I need to pick this Mystical Archive mythic rares. And I do want to wrap up the set completion progress, and then of course I will continue drafting without any need to pick mythic rares after that. So the cuts will be... let's first check the lessons. There were quite a few of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 I can cast, and Like those ones that are always good are the Expanded Anatomy and Fractal and Inkling. And even the basic Conjuration is going to find something. I think the deck has so few late game effects that I will be playing the Bookworm, although getting to 8 mana might not be trivial always. But I think I will do it. It's a pretty strong card. Right. So the best card in the deck is definitely Sedgemoor, which makes me want to play these Magecraft triggers here. I also have the very nice 2-drop with Magecraft, Witherbloom Apprentice. And I feel like Charge Through won't be as good as the Professor's Warning. The draw card part is nice, but I don't really have many cards I want to. You know, it doesn't benefit much that I give tramples to something. So I will cut that one. I still have 11 triggers for Magecraft, not counting the lessons. And how many learn cards it was in the end? Only 3. I will definitely play the cram session just because I have so many good lessons. Yeah, the deck really could have used the blood research or so many ways to gain life. Alright, Karok. The assistant can, let's say the very high impact cards are like a eliminate. Well, eliminate is high impact enough. Mage Duel. I guess I can take the Field Trip. Umbral Juke sometimes. Learn cards. I mean, these lessons can be returned when I have cast them. I could see playing it, but how many 2-drops I have? Should I cut one of them? No, I think I'm gonna cut one Professor's Warning here anyway. I do like the Arrogant Poet in this deck because I have so many ways to gain life that this can pretty easily be just a 2-1 flyer for 2. Leech Fanatic. I don't have other pump effects than like a Professor's Warning, so it's going to be very quickly outclassed. I do have the Infuse with Vitality though. I can push through damage. I could see cutting the Karok still. I could see cutting that, but maybe the Leech Fanatic. But then again, I do want to have my 2-drop always. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I have enough 2-mana plays, though. I could cut a 2-drop in here, which would, I think, be the Leech Fanatic, because I literally have only one card that cares about me gaining life, and it's the one Blood Researcher, so there's not really synergy for that. That also makes the Moldering Karok, you know, a weak card. But do I want to have like a 4-mana 3/3 or a 2-mana 2/2 when I have already that many 2-drops here? Yeah, I'm going to play the Assistant. The cut will be either a Leech Fanatic or the Karok here. I don't want to cut the Professor's Warning. I will keep one of them in my deck. And I do like the Agonizing Remorse here a bit too. Yeah, it's really tough. I guess I'll take the 2-drop away because I have so many of them. I should have a turn 2 play in most of my games anyway. So I have 1 campus, which means it's gonna be pretty easily 8 and 8. Basic lands given my color requirements, yep. So I don't think the deck is that good, but don't know if I could have drafted any other archetype. I guess this is one of the in this draft, picking a mythic rare really hurt the deck, I think. I have picked a lot of mythic rares, and most of the time it's like no big deal. But this deck could be so much better with the removal spell that I have in my pack 1 as pick 1. But yeah, this is the deck, and let's see how it goes. Let's see, can I cut my loss streak, because my previous premier draft was no spoilers, but it wasn't exactly perfect. So I would want to win a game here now. I was so close to getting the mythic rank, and then I had some very bad games. But this is not a keepable hand, so let's mulligan it. This one though, with the Sedgemoor, which is quite nice, and the bookworm is actually the card. I'm gonna cut here. I'd rather keep all these. Ideally, I can go Blood Researcher. Well, no, actually, ideally I go Witch into Karok, and then when the Karok connects, I have played the Researcher on turn 5 before that. Okay, land was good because I do want to go into Karok. And I'm playing against... Okay, well, it's not gonna be easy mode here. Opponent has a perfect start in here. I wish I had this thing for my turn 2, but I don't. I do have life linkers to trade here. This has menace, so definitely. Okay, they seem to have some effect here, but they didn't cast. Maybe it's a pump effect. Anyway, this is the drop here. Yeah, this will help me erasing them, so they need to have some way to deal with this thing. Spiteful Squad is a way to deal with it, so that is... Ah, this is bad. This is bad indeed. Spiteful Squad is really... I don't get why people think it's a bad card. I know if I had removal now, yeah, it wouldn't be that bad, but they're gonna keep the eye twitch, the counters, so removing this thing that has a learned death trigger is not great. But this really messes up my entire game plan here now. Don't know really what to do. I could just play the Crushing Disappointment to maybe draw lands and get a pest here. I don't have to attack here, it's the mana efficient play. I was thinking about the Blood Researcher, but... I don't know. Maybe I still should play the creature. Well, maybe not. Let's just draw the cards, whatever. Not optimal necessarily, but... I'm definitely not attacking it now, because I want to have... When I gain life, I want to get the triggers. Now, I could have played the Witherbloom Apprentice, because of course... But no, that's... Okay, yeah, Spiteful Squads are gonna wreck me up in here. That card is just... Yeah. So yeah, my point was that I could have played the Apprentice before the Crushing Disappointment, because, you know, getting another counter on this thing. But how am I gonna deal with the Spiteful Squads? I think I'm gonna just play my stuff here. And next turn I can play the Blood Researcher attack with the Karok and the Leech Fanatic. Okay, so they have some kind of a kill on the... Well, I don't care about it. Let's see what they want to learn. There's no reason to take damage for no... Okay, for fun. Okay, that's fine. Don't know if they really wanted to do that. Did they forget the Symmetrist has reach? Don't know about it. Okay, well that is another synergy for this, although I don't obviously have any trigger for this thing. But I have the Apprentice and the Witherbloom Ledgemage. So let's go for it now. Let's gain some life. And I'm gonna lose the Karok, I'm gonna lose... Okay, well I'm not gonna lose anything right now, apparently. Because that happened. Yeah, with Spiteful Squad. It is really a good card. Now, I'm not exactly dead here, but the problem is that they can grow their stuff and I will lose my ability to do anything. Oh, they, instead of learning, they just wanted to discard a land. They do have a Scries available, so they are gonna get good draws here. Okay, eliminate. Guess I'm gonna do the attack now. Don't have to necessarily play the eliminate this turn, but I will if I need to. They still have, well, they have the Scry up, that's why they are holding priority there. maybe this is not gonna become any better. So let's get a couple of counters for the Blood Researcher now. Guess I could have attacked with the Symmetries too, but we'll see. So they're gonna pump the other Spiteful Squad, sadly. Not much I can do about it, but I will get a couple of counters on the Researcher now. Well, they chose that. Well, that is fantastic. Okay, I kinda didn't expect that. I thought they would have done the thing with the Spiteful Squad, but now with Eliminate, I will get to kill this one. And I'm going to... Okay, they kept that thing on top, so let's see which of my guys they're gonna answer here. But I have a double Magecraft triggers here. That Blood Researcher is going to become, well, not so much anymore. Which is still gonna become a 5-5. So, quite nice. Okay, they don't have any lessons to get. They had a land in hand. They are flooding here, so they had a good start there, but the flood is going to be bad for them. So now I can't just eliminate this thing right away. And attack with all. Well, maybe not the 1-1, but I would have, you know, of course had well, and not with the Apprentice, but I would have had a pretty good attack here. So the Symmetrist, well, yeah, I would have definitely attacked. Yeah, this is gonna die. So I actually would have attacked with the 1-1 too. They were never gonna block with just the Spiteful Squad, but I had here like a, you know, I would have attacked with 4, 8, 13, 15 points of power, and they can only block, like, kill one of my threats, good threats with the squad, and the good threats there are 3 of them, and plus the Apprentice, which is kind of annoying for them too. But yeah, they were flooded out after the great start they had. The Spiteful Squads were not enough because they drew so many lands, so I actually were able to cut my loss streak there, so I'm happy about that. That game also showcased how good Blood Researcher is in this deck, so I definitely would have wanted to have a lot more of them. Okay, but this is not a bad one. Apprentice into Field Trip, which is going to most likely get a Fractal Summoning. Maybe if I get another Black Sauce, I could take also the Inkling. And I most likely play the Assistant and get the Field Trip again, so I will get the Fractal anyway. Okay, another black-white deck. Let's see if they're gonna go 1-drop, 2-drop here too. And yes, they do. And okay, so they go... I really wish I had to eliminate now. This is exactly the kind of a situation where you can punish this kind of plays. Now, yeah, this thing draws card when you use 3-1 on it, so eliminate wouldn't be... They would get their card back, but this is gonna be very hard now. At least I can gain some amount of life here. So what am I going to have here? I don't think that the introduction to Prophecy is something I want to cast against that thing. It's probably going to be the... I will have 5 mana. I will play the Biblioplex Assistant on the next turn. Let's take the Fractal. After all, I guess it could be the Conjuration too. But maybe I can get maybe with the... I mean, I will be most likely taking the field, although I could play a 3-3 on the next turn. But that doesn't... A Fractal as a 3-3 isn't really interesting, so maybe not. But yeah, really... Imagine if I had Eliminator, they would have nothing. Well, they would have that thing now. But... So... Let's see, how do you use my mana here now? Going to... I'm in a bit of a trouble here, that's... yeah, I guess the Assistant is still okay. Because if I play the Agonizing Remorse, that's gonna leave... No, I will be playing next turn will be a Field Trip and Remorse. Although that pattern isn't that great, I will have to... but a 3-3 Fractal, if they have anything for this thing, like another Essence Infusion, I'm gonna die to that stuff. I know I can play the 3/3 fractal and then assistant back to fractal summoning. Maybe that is what I have to do. Not really ideal, but with my cards in my hand, I think that is the way to. Now I can at least threaten to block the Dusk Mage here. Let's see if they're gonna attack. Or enhance it before attacks. I can also threaten to block the ingredient, but that could be bad if they have instant speed interaction. They can kill the 3/3 or have a pump effect to kill both of these. Although the pump effect with these colors wouldn't be maybe anything that would make the ingredient survive. So if the ingredient dies and both of my guys die and they'll use a card, that wouldn't be a bad trade here, even though they do get the card back from this thing. But let's first see what they do and figure out. Okay, they just had a 4-mana removal there, so they can attack for 5 here, which is something I can live with. No blocks. And I get... Well, that is great. Hopefully they don't have another one of those. Now, there is a reason. One possible play is to play Agonizing Remorse now. See if they have something in their hand that I really need to deal with. And then I can, if there is something else that I know they can't also cast on the next turn, like a Rise of Extus, I could also play the Assistant and return the Remorse. And then next turn I would have 7 mana for a Pledge Mage into Remorse. This Pledge Mage might just die, but the problem here is that I'm gonna take 5 damage here. Although if I can double block the Dusk Mage, maybe I have to do it. Okay, well they had like all the things they could have there that are very bad. Oh man, this is so I will have to. I'm losing my time here. I have no time. Oh man, I didn't even realize that. So I took the Combat Professor because that is really nasty thing to have there. Okay, so do I take just a Fractal? They have this pump effect. Fractal is gonna be a 5/5. I guess I'll take the Fractal after all. Feels like it's the card I need to draw instead. Am I gonna double block with the Beaming Defiance and the Professor's Warning? No, I can't do that. I have to take the damage here now. Yeah, I will. The Witherbloom Pledge Mage is good enough blocker that the tricks they have are not good enough. But let's hope they didn't draw anything too great in there. So how do I block here now? They can play both the Beaming Defiance and the Professor's Warning on the Dusk Mage, so that the Witherbloom Pledge Mage won't be that great of a block in there. But I really couldn't let them keep the Combat Professor either. This is a tough one. The turn 1 ingredient into turn 2 Essence Infusion. If I just had my removal spells here, Eliminate or Mage Duel, when they are tapped out, would be so great. So can I attack here, or do I have to kind of sacrifice something? Because I do need to also clock them, but this is 3 additional damage. I can't just not block anymore. So I can double block the ingredient and they are forced to use. But they can make it indestructible and yeah, that's bad. Yeah, them having both of these, it's too much. It's too much for me. I don't think I can win here because both tricks here are gonna be too good for them. Plus they have, 2 cards I don't know about. But even if they have the complete blanks, I don't know, because if I take either of these through, they will simply win. Well, okay, I can take the Dusk Mage. It can deal 5 damage with these things, so I can take that one through. So if I just block the Dusk Mage, what they're gonna do is they're gonna play the Defiance and give it a counter. This is becoming a 5/5 for the turn, 5/6 for the turn. I can't even kill it, and it will be a permanent 3/4 in that case. So there's an option to double block the Dusk Mage, but then I have to double block this thing because it's lethal. Maybe I was supposed to play the fractal on this turn. I just thought about maybe I draw a land and I can make this a 6/6. But if I played the fractal, I would have gained a life and I would be at 7. I'm not forced to block the ingredient, but I'm actually forced to block the ingredient now. And I think the only blocks I can make here are these. Feels like it. Now they have a decision. If they want to make this, they can give it a beaming, you know, they can give it +2/+2 and make it indestructible, in which case I will lose the Witherbloom Pledge Mates. But the assistant won't go, and both of these have been dealt with. And then the other option is just trade with the assistant, but I don't think they're gonna do that. Yeah, that sequence of turn 1 and turn 2, that was really, I mean, if you get the 3/3 menace on turn 2, so that it can even attack on turn 2, that is really good in limited. But it's just so risky play that I kinda, I would never do that myself because it's so risky. But it is awkward when the opponent does it and I don't have the way to punish it. If I had like the infusion with vitality here, that would be so good. That would be so insanely good. Well, they are thinking about there. Maybe they don't have any obvious thing there. They have one timeout. They just went for the trade. Maybe they can kill this post-combat. I don't see any other reason for that line of play here. Because I think killing the Pledge Mates and making the ingredient indestructible would have been still quite good for them. They went for the card draw. Any other plays? Okay. So this is now... I don't have to block it. I get 2 life here. So I'm gonna raise them now. And of course I can't block it with the 5/5 because I could do that, force them use these, but I don't want them to maybe get that value. Although that will cost them 3 mana. And but they are not blocking this means they would have to have additional point of power for this thing. If they have a 3rd pump spell, that would work. So maybe I have to block this just to be sure. Yeah, I would just lose to any other pump spell they might have. That's right. I will block if they attack. That means, okay, they won't. They won't. Oh, they have, okay, this will gain lifelink. So now they have the they have the play available now on the defense. So this can gain lifelink. But so basically, what happens? This is going to become a 5/6 on this turn, and it will eat one of these. But the trick here is that the other one won't be eaten here. And then this will be just a 3/4 after that. And this thing is actually a lethal attacker. If I don't force them to do that. They actually can just have a lethal attack on the next turn. Yeah, that is bad because... Yeah, this... Okay, they can just go for the safe play. If I had one trigger for this, that would be enough. But now they can make this a 6-power flyer on the next turn. Man, if I had just one more... If I just drew a trigger here, but I didn't, so it is what it is. If I attack with all... Okay, do I have to sacrifice my Witherbloom Apprentice here? Actually, I have to, because then they are forced to block with the Pledge Mates or forced to use one of these things. So let's see, they eat the Witherbloom Apprentice for free, and then they can make this a 5-power thing and give it indestructible, but at least I won't be dying on the next turn. Because if I just attack with these, they might jump block one of them, take 5 here, and there's nothing I can do about it. They might not do that, but I feel like they could do that, and this is a way that at least gives me outs here. So they're gonna kill that. I think they should kill the Pledge Mates because it can trigger life gain for me. So they will make this 5-power. It will also gain lifelink, by the way. So it's not very good for me. But I get rid of these cards, both of them. And I have these double Leech Fanatics, which I can use to block here. So they will go to... You know, well, they will basically be at 7 life after the combat is over, and I will throw away the apprentice, which is very sad here. Or they can just do that, but now that's not sure if they should do that. They are really wanting to. Okay, they might have another trick effort. Oh, but this is needing. I don't know actually. Why would they? Maybe they have a way to fly around, because now they can make it the 5 power flyer. It's not enough. Maybe they have a additional damage here. That would explain it. I was expecting them to kill the 5/5 there, not just save it. They did gain only 3 life now too. I of course have to block here. Don't they have any attack? I don't know if they are. Well, I mean, I only have to base my decisions based on what happens, not what they could do. It's possible they have a different opinion about what they should do here, of course, because I don't have knowledge about their 2 unknown cards. I'm only guessing here, but it feels like it might have been better for them to kill the 5/5. Now they are thinking about the attack. I'm pretty forced here. Well, I don't know, if they attack with the Pledge Mage, I can double block it. And I would. They can still gain 5 life. But I have a 10 power attackers here. If I block with only one guy, they can, you know, trade it and yeah, I'm gonna see what they have. This means the Beaming Defiance won't help. They can use it still, but this will die and they will gain 5 life. But what else they have? Because this is still a lethal attack even if they are at 10. Now that trade, I mean that was the potential flyer, that's dealt with. I'm happy. Also got rid of the Beaming Defiance. Definitely makes things easier to know about the opponent's tricks. But now I even drew a creature here, so definitely. Oh, what? I could have trample in here. Might not be relevant here if they just have to jump block. They would be at 3 now, but I mean this is just. I mean I probably win now, but I should have played the Symmetry Precon, but there was no really other reason. There was no reason to not play it, but I guess they just flooded out, and they maybe should have played differently. I'm pretty sure they should have killed the 5/5 with the Beaming Defiance when they had the indestructible Pledge Mage. They would have also gained 2 additional life there. But I'm happy about the win here. Let's see if it's again going to be a 1-drop, 2-drop start from the opponent. I go first. Okay, this hand. Oh man. Hey, this is best of 1. I'm supposed to get those 3 and 4 land starters most of the time, but yeah, the Bookworm is already a mulligan, and if this doesn't draw not only the 3rd but also the 4th land very quickly, this hand is just bad. I have to mulligan it. Well, this is actually better, even though it's not that much better, but at least I have more spells I can cast here. I think the assistant might not be that important here. Just a 4 mana 2/1 here. Yeah, I know I can return something, but I don't want to actually, because I will probably want to just draw random cards instead of one of these things. I don't need to. I don't care about the assistant's ability to return something from the graveyard on top of your deck. Now, I could take the Duke, but I kind of like the idea of Agonizing Remorse in here and see if I should save this for the, for the Edict effect, because they didn't have a 2-drop. Now I will get to see what they have in here, and I know better which mode is better. Okay, so they have an Ecological Appreciation, which is gonna be a very expensive play. So 3 and X, Library and Graveyard for up to 4 creature cards. I choose 2 of them. Okay, they get 2 of the... Okay, I get to choose what they don't get to keep. But mana value X or less. Okay, so for example, at 6 mana, they get 2 3-drops. Or if they have that many 3-drops left in the deck. So, let's see now. Professor of Zoomancy is probably the card I need to deal with now. I could take the Field Trip too, but I don't like how the Zoomancy is gonna... I think I'm gonna take the Zoomancy away. It feels like I don't care about the Field Trip too much. Yes, they do get to learn something, but I have to eliminate for a token, for example, if they have a fractal. Now, the reason I didn't take this thing is, of course, because, I have the Professor's Warning here. So they can't really block here. Or if they do, that would be fantastic for me. And I think what I'm gonna do here is play the Duke as a creature, and then I can eliminate that thing away. Or unless, well, I will see probably what they're gonna be field tripping in there. This thing has vigilance, it can just attack. Don't care about the 2 damage. But I will take the, the flyer can be good. They don't have way to block a flyer here, and they are already at 50. So now I will see if they get a fractal token. I can still attack now here because I have the Professor's Warning, so they're actually taking quite a bit of damage here. And I can also use the Eliminate if they don't have like a fractal token here now. They could have the pest tokens, or of course a number of lessons. Annihilation is fine. So I will have a 2/1 creature, drain a bit, and maybe they feel like they might have to block now. Who knows? They can go for the Ecological Appreciation, but if they go with X equals 3, both creatures are going to be eliminated. I can eliminate them. Okay, they had that, so... Talk about the perfect draw, it doesn't... Okay, well, so much of my flyer. At least I got this thing, but that was one of the cards that was really bad. I mean, there are not that many ways for the black-green deck to block flyers, but... Well, of course, black can have their own flyers, but... I knew about their hand most of the cards. This just stops the clock in here. And they can even make this a 5/5, so I can't attack with my own Master Symmetrist. But I might just go for the X equals 4 here now, and yeah. Okay, they went for that play. But I now know everything in their hand. They cannot attack here. But I cannot attack either unless I draw something good, and I drew exactly nothing, so I guess it's time to... I don't even know what well, I guess I can draw my own introduction to Annihilation, so any learn card. I have three learn cards in the introduction, that will be fine. Oh, you are not telling me you just top check the card that allows them to save this guy. Is that gonna be an infuse with Vitality? I will concede if it's an infuse with Vitality. 1 pump spell won't help them now. And I don't mind the double if they are... That is fine, because I wasn't gonna deal with this 5/5 anyway, so... Losing my own 4/4 and that 2/1 flyer wasn't that bad. But now it's gonna be X equals 5 on the appreciation, so... it's too much, I can't beat it. They drew all the lands there. Okay, they had only... How is this possible? For up to 4 creature cards, this also is in the graveyard. They messed up. they only found... Oh, they really messed up there. They were supposed to get 4 total. They have stuff in their graveyard. Well, opponent chooses 2 of those, shuffle those in the library. So one of these will enter the battlefield, no one else. And the Grove I will eliminate, so... Opponent. What happened? Where did the symmetrist come from? I didn't see it. Or did I mess up with the interface? I mean, this is what they were supposed to do, so it's not... Was that somehow... I don't recall seeing the symmetrist there. Interesting. Well, I mean, this is the way they should have done it. Although I might have chosen something else than the symmetrist there, but... I mean, then let's say, of course I would have chosen the Grove to enter the battlefield because I had the kill spell for it, but let's see. The 4 for Damogoth Titan, yeah, I would have chosen the Titan, maybe. Well, it doesn't matter now, it happened. I don't know, but it somehow messed up. Oh, they didn't go for the introduction to Annihilation here. Well, now I see what the trick. They have no. Okay, what's going on? I don't know anymore. Well, I am glad I drew the campus so I can scry if I don't draw anything good. Field trip can get something good. Also draining some here. I'm gonna take the flyer here. No, yes, I do have it. So, well, expanded anatomy would be actually quite good in here. Of course the fractal too, but they have the exile effect. So I will... Yeah, the exile effect makes the expanded anatomy bad too. So I think the flyer is what I need. Basic conjuration could find me. I think the flyer is just better than a random card at this point, so... Let's drain a bit of... And definitely I'm not gonna offer to terrorate right now, or maybe I should. Because they have also, you know, life gain. Yeah, I guess they can gain life with the introduction, so let's offer the trade right now. They will scry. I maybe should put a stop to upkeep if I wanna scry. Bottom is good. So now... Okay, now I also remove their ability to gain life from the triggers. Bottom again. They might have to exile this thing. Okay, that's not gonna work against the flyer. So, I have 7... I will be at 3 lands only. No, I have too many... Yeah, I will just scry end of turn. And yeah, this is one of the reasons I was supposed to not scry. Okay, so I won't be scrying end of turn, but I might consider it during the upkeep. They do have to deal with this 2-1 if the introduction is the only one. Well, they don't have to deal with it right now, but at some point they might have to. So it has vigilance, so of course they can just do that. Maybe I'll double block it. If they have a tricks available, it's something. I mean, I will need to get rid of their tricks anyway. Okay, introduction happens now because I had actually lethal attack here. But with the land I will now scry because I will have 4 mana available still. Okay, Cram Session is actually... Well, I scryed the land to bottom, so that was beneficial. Let's just see what... I think it's gonna be the Fractal. Because I would have a win here if I had 1 more land. But if I didn't scry, I wouldn't have drawn the Cram Session right now. So there's nothing I can cast on this turn. Well, I can cast this Well, no, I can't even cast this for x equals 0 because I don't have double green up. So I think the fractal is just a way to go in here. Okay, they have a creature here, but do they have a kill spell on the fractal? I'm still at 24 here. Seven. With the sequence here, I don't think I'm going to scry on my upkeep. If I draw a land, at least I will get a 2/2, which may or may not be relevant. So now they scry this on top, so they do have an answer for the 7/7. Let's see what it is. It has to be an infuse with vitality, right? Oh, wow, what a draw there. That's insanity. I forgot entirely I have this thing in my deck. That's the way to deal with unless they get to exile it. Oh, they had only a jump blocker there. Well, now they are in bad shape now. But they got to eliminate now. That's too late. So if they have an infuse with vitality, then they have it. I mean, it's gonna be blocking anyway, so why not? Why would I take 4 damage there? Plus, if the worm dies, it's gonna just come back with a nice ability there. I actually should have used this ability, in my upkeep, I think, because I want to draw it as soon as possible. So I should have had to remember to put a stop here, maybe before blocks. Okay, anyway, that was a 3rd win right away. So I got back from the, I kind of have cancelled the effects of the previous event now. So I am now, again, I'm at 2 wins away from mythic rank. Okay, well, this is a fine one. I have 2 2-drops I can play, and a 3rd any land can give me 2 additional spells to play. So I would have to be pretty unlucky to not get some reasonable plays here. Okay, and again an opponent with the 1-drop start. Let's see if they have a 2-drop start. Plus, I did find the swamp here, so I can mage duel their 2-drop and gain 3 life. That's actually fantastic. And I even drew that one. Well, that seems like a good start here for sure. They have a flunk in there. It's gonna be minus. Oh, that was a good reason to not play the land pre-combat. Didn't actually think of it, because I thought maybe that if I really need to use this mid-combat, but why would I make them sacrifice a creature, because they can just sacrifice that thing. So I would have had 6 cards. Yeah, they actually were dealt 2 and gained 2. That was some mistake I didn't even pay attention to. Yeah, that automatically land dropped there because I had an instant I could cast. That was just a, an autopilot play, and that was a mistake. Definitely forgot flunk exists. Well, I did draw my land, so I can't whine about that, but let's see now if the opponent has some. I mean, they still can just push here through, because this has first strike with the Magecraft trigger, so I can't really block the low hole Blades Mage here. Oh, they don't have a. Okay, they didn't have a trick, at least not a trick they want to use now. So, if they have a Professor's Warning, I think they would have attacked in that case. So what I can do here, I can just kill one of these pre-combat, because this will become a 5-6, and I will kill the Pledge Mage, and then this will have still 3 toughness left. So let's see. It seems like they don't have a response. It seems like this is a safe attack now. And it was. So I was able to remove their ability to gain life, and I have now my own lethal attacker here. Rescuer gets that thing back, but I have a 4-4 here still. They can't even... Okay, land wasn't good, but... But it's not bad. I don't like the fact they can start gaining life with that thing, but they will have to make some blocks. Probably they block the 2-1 with the Rescuer, or they could go for a... Interesting. They went for that. I guess they just don't want to deal with the 4-4. But that's not a bad one for me at all. Not at all. So if I can't just... They lost their clock currently. And I have 2 flyers in here myself. But they do have the potential to make this thing gain life. Okay, that's not so bad. Okay, they just trade here. Well, that makes sense actually. They have 2 cards I don't know about. But yeah, I have these 2 too. So now it really depends. If they have like a strong play, for like a 5 or 6 mana play here, they're gonna be in a very good shape. But of course now it's a top deck. Tops of the deck will define what happens in this game. The board is pretty even. Of course I am slightly favored at this point, but no longer. They didn't need to have much. But these land draws are going to... They are going to be the end of me, because they had the thing that with the activated ability, so I really need to find something like a bookworm. I can also draw... What removal? I don't have removal here anymore. Mage Duel went away, so I have a eliminate, which won't work, so I guess... So I can give this guy now a couple of counters, or I can get a fractal token. I could play a basic conjuration, but I think that's just not the correct one. But the 4-4 lifelinker here actually seems to be the best. They will most likely jump with the ingredient now. Because the fractal was a bit too slow against what they have here. I needed this thing, because they would have just traded with the... Oh, well, that's messed up. I need now my bookworm. I will lose in 2 turns otherwise. I can't beat the drain life, because now, even if I drew the bookworm there, it's not going enough. It gains me 3 life, but I'm gonna drop to 4, then they can start their draining life. So bookworm puts me to 5. Let's say next turn they attack me to 4, and then they use 6 mana to drain. I'm at 3. I will draw a bookworm here, and I will go to 6. Then they will attack with both of these still, and drain me for the lethal. Okay, I have eliminate for the early drop, do have the Professor as a 4 drop, and I have enough lands and both colors here. I don't have double black, so I can't get the Inkling unless I draw a swamp. So the question is, do I even want to use the Cram Session right now? think I'm just gonna eliminate whatever they're gonna have here. I take the 2 damage, they might have a Quandrix Pledge Mage here, which I would rather eliminate. Well, that was just a mathematician. So let's maybe draw something good. Field Trip is good. It's going to be Conjuration or the Fractal. I have at least 6 lands here. I will get something with the Cram Session though, so maybe which of these I would play before the other. Next turn is going to be the Professor of Zoomancy, no matter what. I guess I'll take the Fractal. And then I can think about the Cram Session, which what I might need something like an Introduction to Annihilation. Maybe Expanded Anatomy will be good for this, or who knows. Kelpie Guide. Are they missing land drops? That's kind of bad too, because this thing does... That thing does, in fact, give them additional mana, and that means they have 4 spells in their hand. That said, I do have 3 spells in there too, and one of them is a high impact. Cram Session will get me something good. Okay, they went for the... What's the idea here? I guess I should have blocked the 1-1. I didn't even think about it, but... Why would they attack there? I guess I'll see now. 3 mana spell, dealing with my Professor. Electrolyze. Okay, that's actually quite nice. For me, because I have this particular card here. I still should have traded with this thing, because obviously... they would have just put 1 damage to my head here. But oh well. I don't think I want to play the... Fractal right now. I think I'm going to just take the Inkling here. And next turn it's gonna be a 5/5 Fractal. Colony can block the Inkling, it's fine. They don't have a tapping ability quite yet. But yeah, maybe, I don't know why didn't I trade with this thing. But all is still fine here. Yep. Untap that. Do they want to jump, or they do they have some kind of trick? Okay, jump is fine. And I guess I could still play the Leech Fanatic and the Duke, but no, let's now use all the mana here. 5/5 is gonna be good enough. Maybe they have a counter spell, but I have also the Scryland, so I can play like a cheap cards with the Scry up. Okay, they got a couple of cards there, but I have 5/4 and a 5/5. They can't currently answer, and this is still 2 lands. Well, okay, now 1 land away from being a 4/4. So at least my Umbral Duke sacrifice will be actually quite relevant now. Let's now get this 5/5 will get trample, and I will anyway play this turn this Master Symmetrist. So I have here an option to use the sacrifice right away. But I don't think I want to do that. If they trade with the 2/1, which I don't think they're gonna do, but if they do that, that would be good for me. Okay, so now it's pretty obvious that them losing either of these is just gonna be too great for me. So I'm gonna do this right now, because if I let them untap, they might have a Magecraft trigger happening. So either lose the card draw engine or the potential tapper They get the card to get more information for the sacrifice. They have a card draws, but I have a 13 power, 9 of which is going to trample. So it's not that easy for them. One big creature is not enough. Oh no, why? Why like this? Imagine this hand if one of these was a black sauce. I can't keep it because I have no castable spells. I would have to draw specifically a swamp or the campus, which I have a 9 total of black sauces here. And the bookworm is a kind of a mulligan currently, so... Okay, this is a lot better. And I think, well, this time the mage duel would be nice to return maybe, but the assistant is still the card I will cut here because I might just want to. I have a 4-drop anyway here, and the apprentice into mage duel is a quite nice start here. A couple of red sources. Okay, land was great. I will have to skip my play this turn, but it's fine. 3rd red. Alright, so let's just play the 4-drop for now. No reason to attack into the first striker, and no reason to force the, the mage duel here. I might even draw a land, and then I can have a crushing disappointment into mage duel if I want to. Do they have another color, or could this be a mono red deck? Oh, that is good one for sure. What do they get? A 3/2 token. Okay. Well, now that I drew the blood researcher, I definitely play this before I trigger this guy. So hopefully they don't have another answer to a creature, because if I get to trigger this thing while my blood researcher is in play, that's gonna be fantastic. They didn't go for the pre-combat summoning here, so... Okay, they have... Okay, another one of those. Wow. Well, this is a... Now, I could play the disappointment and hope to draw a forest for this thing, but it's just better idea to do this and play the mage duel then. Although this triggers the blood researcher twice, which I didn't even realize. So here... A lot of interesting options. Basic Conjuration does trigger this thing again twice, because it, well, I'm assuming the Witherbloom Pledge Mage is still alive. The Inkling I can't cast because I have only 1 black source in here. The Expanded Anatomy seems a bit too risky. Fractal, I don't have mana for it. I think I'm gonna take this, although it won't be that amazing either. Let's take the Conjuration. And now they will take 9 damage here. They need to find, and the mono red cards can't deal with this right now. They need 5 mana for the Pigment Storm, which they don't have currently. So the Blood Researcher also has Menace, so it's gonna be tough for them. With the basic Conjuration, it's basically like an expanded... Well, no, it's not an expanded anatomy on this, because it in combination with the Apprentice would of course have been +3/+3. But they have a... Okay, that could be... Well, it's not an Expel, because an Expel would obviously... An Expel would obviously be just, they would have cast it already, right? Or maybe not if they want to have the trigger for the Pledge Mage, but they have a white card. It can be sadly the thing that kills a 4 power creature. Okay, Crushing Disappointment then. It would be tempting to leave this so that they have only 2 life left, but I want to draw the lands now and I didn't get to do that. Oh, they have a Study Break. Well, that is a lot less, you know, troublesome. Okay, they have reduced the memory for which they do need a second white, but and I get a 3/2 there. They are only at 4 life. And I have the poet here. The poet will be great now. And they didn't find the... So the Menace guy was good enough. But I would have been in a good shape no matter what. Let's say they have planes and they play this thing. And they have maybe don't know about the play for the 2 red sources. Then I have a 3/2, 1/1 and a 2/2. I think I would just play the Symmetrist. Although playing the poet would be interesting too. Depends what I draw, I guess. So now I'm... was that... Wait a minute. Yeah, I'm actually 1 step away from Mythic. I could get to Mythic in this event. And again in that game the Blood Researcher showed its value. It would be so good in this deck at multiple copies. But what is wrong with my starting hands? How many mulligans I have made? Now I must recall that I have won 5 games and lost only 1, despite of these bad starting hands. But this deck has a fine mana. It has 9 and 9 basically with the campus. But again, I can't cast any of these spells. I have to mulligan it. At least now I have a spell I can cast. The Bookworm likes to show up in my starting hands too for some reason. But I have at least a play here, and this is an extremely strong rare. But opponent starting with a 1-drop. And even the Lumimancer, which is actually quite unimpressive later in the game, but could be insane in turn 1. I would never play this because I just... Oh. Let's give me the Eliminate. Eliminate, please. Some justice in this world. Because this is the kind of a start that can really be punished by removal. Now that is a good card, but now well, they get to only the disappointment here, but yeah, okay, fine. Let's lose this game. Let's not get to Mythic at least in this game. I can still win the next 2 games and go to Mythic, but yep. I guess if the opponent, you know, has nothing here, but 3 lands, I can win here still. I didn't attack with the poet because I might have to double block here. Oh, actually they have this, that was a mistake. They get +3/+3, I forgot. Any spell gives them +3/+3. Yeah, it's the same as just blocking with the witch. Now I'm just losing the poet for no reason. That was a mistake. Well, without the Eliminate, I mean, it's so funny how if I had to Eliminate, they would have just had nothing here going on. Like 1 Light Scribe here. So it's just putting all the eggs in one basket. So risky, I would never do it myself. But it really works when the opponent doesn't have the removal. So I can't say it's a bad strategy, it's just something I don't want to count on. It's such a bad feeling when the opponent gets to deal with the creature. Oh, I actually haven't seen this arch. I will keep opponent mulligan, again a 2-lander, but I have the cram session. Sadly no environmental sciences though, but with the overgrown arch and 1 land giving me the Sedgemore, which with all these magecraft trigger, it's just that's not a mulligan hand. And the Leech Fanatic was at least a card I can cast, even though I would prefer a land. Much more a 2-drop if it's not a land. So, well, let's see what's their 2-drop. I could play either the Arch or the Fanatic. Okay, that's fantastic. I will now play the Fanatic because they don't have a blocker for it currently. I don't need a blocker myself. And then I have the Witch coming up and even have a Forest here. And the Professor's Warning will be quite good. They are not gonna block here. I wish they were, but it's not gonna happen. It's a bit tempting to block because giving the life there is kind of something you don't wanna do. But I wouldn't do this attack if I didn't have a trick here. Now they might have something to copy with this thing, but at least I have my Sedgemore, which with a couple of triggers. I have the Symmetrist because I did draw the second Forest too, so actually I did draw, I kept the 2-lander and by my turn 4 I actually will have 4 lands available, 2 and 2, so pretty fantastic here. They could have like the +1/+1 counter with Learn, that would be a great thing to copy. This would become a 4/5, they get 2 lessons. That's definitely worth using 3 mana for, but let's see if they have something else maybe, or maybe nothing to copy at all. Okay, they get to do that, and then they get to force the block in here. They will pay 3 life. At least this dies now, but they get 2 lessons here now. But I will have my 4/4 coming up. I still have the Professor's Warning. I can attack with a 2/2 lifelinker here. And lessons are not mana efficient. That's something that is true. It's nice for card advantage, but for mana efficiency they are not good. They get a 2/1 and a 3/2, both 3 mana spells, so not that great for them. There's the Bookworm, which, well, if the game drags long, I at least have a way to have a very, very powerful late game threat here. But it might not get there because I have this stuff here going on. Two-drop and a 3-drop. They might have to. Okay, so I have good attacks. Oh, the Field Trip will help also with getting to. Well, actually, it doesn't help any more than drawing a land, but it's still getting a land and a spell at the same time. Here, very easy attack with both because I have the Professor's Warning. Quite nice, a little 1 mana spell actually. Can't imagine they have a very good. So I will just make it a 3/3. Will trample even 1 damage over here, and then I will have a Field Trip rather than the Overgrown Arch. Get some nice lesson, which could even be the. But I have the Grammar Session too, if I want to have a surprise Expanded Anatomy. So I think I will just have an Inkling right now. I will have an Inkling right now, and then maybe next turn I will go Grammar Session into Expanded Anatomy, especially if they tap out here for something. I have here 7 power of trample damage. If they play the card I know about, that's not gonna be that great. They can trade with the Leech Fanatic, but they still have the Symmetrist to deal with. Of course, they do have 3 cards I don't know about, and they have more mana available, so they can play something else than the Spirit, or they can play the Spirit and something else. But given that I have the Bookworm here and I'm at 27 life, will be at 31, this will gain me life. I will have time to get the Bookworm in this game. I'm pretty sure about that. I mean, if they get to stabilize, that's... Okay, that gets some counters. It gets Vigilance too, right? Yeah. So, pretty easy now. Because this 4/3 would just trade with the Symmetrist, so I will just make it so that Symmetrist becomes a 6/6, I think. then they would have to double block it, which would be fine. If I make this Leech Fanatic a 5/5, then they can trade with the Symmetrist. Now they can... Yeah, I think I'd rather have the... I think I'd rather have the 6/6 here. Now they are at 1. Now they can still deal with this somehow, but I have a lot of time here to get the Bookworm online. But they do have a 4/3 flyer against my Inkling, but I can get another expanded anatomy for the Inkling if I so desire. And of course I can draw and eliminate. But all this depends on whether they have an answer for this. They might just play a creature and have to double block the Symmetrist, which would be fine, because if they have to use their flyer to block this thing, it's going to, you know, then my own flyer will be a threat. But they know about the Inkling, so they will try to figure out a way to deal with the situation. They could have an Expel, of course. So if they pass with 3 mana open, it's gonna be a bit awkward. Might still go for it because they might just, you know, not have it. They are thinking so long here that it feels like if they have an Expel, it would be pretty simple turn. They use so much mana that they will have the 3 mana up. I guess it would be a perfect spot for me to draw the Agonizing Remorse to see what's up. Okay, they have to do something right now. They didn't do anything, so that kind of feels like they just went AFK. Could be a disconnect. Could be anything. I don't mind actually. Let's say I'm not gonna blame the opponent for roping, because you know you can easily just lose the connection and then it would be pretty nasty to blame a person who just lost their connection for roping. But I don't have anything against roping. That's maybe because I don't play casual Magic maybe at all. Well, okay, I do play the occasional unranked, maybe in the play queue to get some daily quests done, or maybe a couple of daily wins if I don't have time to draft. But mostly I will play in the ranked queues or, you know, limited events where you know, every win counts. So if an opponent ropes me, so-called, I don't care, because that means I still won, and really winning is what matters. Okay, so now I got to 6 wins, so and I'm again 1 win away from the mythic rank. Now if I lose, that will be end of the event, and I will at least have only 2 steps left to the mythic rank. So it's not such a big deal. It also would be my first 6 winner. If you have been watching my set completion reviews every 5 drafts, not reviews but kind of a status reports, I have gotten a lot of 7-win results and a lot of results that involve me getting 5 or fewer wins. I have 0 6-win results in the premier drafts of Strixhaven so far. So let's see if this is gonna be the first 6 winner, or does this actually give me the mythic rank up. Okay, well, this is a tool-ender I can keep. Leech Fanatic, eliminate. Again, Bookworm, which just loves to be here around, but if I draw any land, I get the Field Trip, which also allows me to cast the Symmetrist, so this is fantastic. I just hope I find the 3rd land. Well, ideally in 2 draw steps, but even if I have to skip the land drop once, I can use the eliminate. And there's no 1 drop for the opponent, that is good. So now it's going to be interesting times. White, red, and that is perfect. So now there's no flunk mana up, but there's no 3 mana instant either, so I should attack before playing the land. but field trip here is perfect. Yeah, now this hand is at least capable of getting a win in this game. And I'm not taking the fractal with 4 lands. I think it's going to be the Inkling. It's the most kind of a safe card to be playing here. I do like the expanded anatomy, but not against a hand of 7 cards when they can just deal with my creatures. Pilgrim, okay. No Professor's Warning this time. I'm gonna just play the Symmetrist. Yeah, it's just better than the Lifelinker. I could still attack here. I mean, it's not the worst idea, I guess. No, it's not attack. I might find something, and I might eliminate this thing. It's like a small possibility. But let's say I would draw a swamp. I could play the Inkling and eliminate on the same turn. And depending on what they do now, it could be a play I might want to make. Okay, well there's a lesson for them, environmental sciences. Now I will be offering the trade when that's a 3-2 and not a 2-1. Oh, well, how about that? That's the card that can easily just win them the game. I'm happy I have to eliminate for that, so I have a chance here, but this card is just... at least I drew the swamp. By the way, perfect draw. I guess when they have a Sparring Regiment out on turn 4, I need the perfect draws, but now I can eliminate that and play my flyer. And it's possible, because this is only relevant when you have attackers, it's possible I can actually push through here. Especially if I can draw some more aggressive stuff. And I have the Crushing Disappointment here too. Their lessons are... They use a lot of mana. Sparring Regiment won't do anything unless they get to attack with a creature. And I have 8 power here. They have a 3rd color. And I have this surprise losing of 2 life, which they don't know about. So I guess I hope they don't have any big creature that can block all of my stuff. They can have easily a creature that can block the Symmetrist, but what is that? Is that the best play they have available? They kept 1 on top. Maybe they have a kill spell on the Symmetrist. If they kill one of my 2 power creatures, that's not such a big deal. I get to apply more pressure on the board with the Karok. Not the best 4 mana play, but still something. Okay, they just go for the... Now that could also mean they have like a mass removal effect, but of course I'm not gonna play around Day of Judgment. This was the perfect draw too. Not gonna play against Day of Judgment. Funnily though, the other one, the White Mastery thing, is actually non-land permanent, so they would be killing that thing too. But I guess they need to have specifically a mass removal, and they didn't get a mountain there, so that's probably not the... I'm gonna still play all the stuff. I mean, I can't afford to play against mass removal when they have a regiment up here. They could still have, you know, they can deal with some of my guys, play a creature, start attacking, and that's soon game over. But now this could be... Okay, heated debate, yeah, definitely, that's not gonna be enough. Okay, Lightning Helix is better, definitely. Well, let's have this thing. Maybe I need the Bookworm here after all. Well, apparently I do have the mana for it. So them getting the 3 life, how relevant that can be. Super relevant, they would have died otherwise. So they had 2 spot removals here for my guys. My Mage Duel might not do a whole lot, but with the flyer here I can... Then it fights target creature. Okay, you can't cast this just to keep the boost, so they would have to have a 2 power creature or 1 power creature for me to be able to boost the 2/1 flyer in here. Seems pretty unlikely. But I will have the Bookworm. They will need to exile this somehow, which is of course possible with like an expel. At least the game is interesting now, but I would have of course preferred they didn't have both of these things to kill both of my 4-drops there, but that happened. I'm happy they didn't have the mass removal, because that would have been, you know, super annoying. But the thing is that if opponent gets to stabilize, Sparring Regiment will win the game for them. So I have to keep up the pressure here, but with the cards I have in my hand, it is possible. I will have the 8 mana on turn 8 here. And I will have the Mage Duel in the meanwhile, which is quite bad with such a small creatures. But who knows? Okay, So could be a number of things. There's no reason for me not to attack. Don't have any instants I can just... they're gonna have some removal on here. Let's... What's going on? What is going on? What? They played nothing. I got to the mythic rank. I will see soon what's the actual number or what percentage value. They had one island in hand. 1, 2, 3, 4 cards I don't know about. All they needed for this turn is to have a way to kill one of these or block, you know, a 2 power ground guy. Now it is possible they had like a pump spell and 3 additional lands or something like that. But that was pretty amazing. I mean, amazing in a sense that I would never have betted on them actually losing on this turn just to these 2 guys. Alright. Hey, I beat the sparring regiment. That's great. Okay, so pretty funny stuff here. Let's first check out the deck, because I don't think this deck was that good. I needed more removal here. And that's why picking the mythic rare in the first pick was kind of a very detrimental this time, because it would have been so much better deck with the black-green uncommon removal spell. But I still went to 7 wins, so who cares? And I get to keep the mythic rare now, so that was fantastic. But the deck really would have been a lot better if I had another, or maybe ideally 3 of these Blood Researcher. Whenever I drew this, it was a very high impact card. And don't know really. There are some stinkers in here. But again, the Professor's Warning proved to be quite good. It's for 1 mana, getting the option between these 2 options it's a very nice card. It's not a very synergistic card in this deck, but it's still it's so easy to leave 1 mana up and then blow out some combat. So maybe not even blow out, but you can just counter a removal spell. And it's pretty nice to attack with a Leech Fanatic that's getting blocked by a 2 power creature. And then you get to eat the creature, and this is becoming a permanent 3/3/2. But other than that, the deck didn't seem that great. But I guess sometimes you can just, you know, win even without having such a great deck. Now let's take the price here. So it's pretty funny. I mean, well, by this time you probably know, even if you didn't watch the previous draft, I went 0-3 in the previous draft, and before that I went 7 wins. So this is the kind of variance that is in premier drafts: 7 wins, 0 wins, 0 wins basically, and then again 7 wins. That's such a funny nature of the best of 1 event. So my mythic rank is now 182. Of course, why is it such a high one when you just rank to mythic? Well, the reason is that the matchmaking rating always changes when you finish a limited, well, any match, and it only matters when you are in the mythic ranks, because this rank is, of course, it ranks people based on their matchmaking rating. So whenever you win a match in ranked limited, also quick draft or a premier draft, you will your matchmaking rating will increase. It's a hidden value. We don't know what it is, but it is there, but it's just not told to the players. And when you lose, you will lose. Your matchmaking rating will drop. And of course, always when you rank to mythic, that means you must have had a good run of events, because you of course have to win more than you lose. So usually people, when they go to mythic rank, especially in limited when there are a lot fewer players, in constructed it's not that easy to get to the number ranks. It's usually something like 95 to 98% usually when you rank up to mythic in constructed, because the population is so much larger there. But in limited there's a lot fewer players in the playing limited rank, so it's easy to usually get to the at least the numbered, in the digits, so called, when you rank up. So now, what does this mean for my future premier drafts? Well, not future, but in May 2021. It's May 19th at the time of me recording this. It does mean that I won't be playing premier drafts now, because I will want to finish at top 1200, and as you are probably aware, keeping this kind of rank will require going like 5-3, 6-3 in drafts, and any kind of, for example, if I go 3-3 in a draft, this will drop to maybe something somewhere around 300 rank. So my strategy here is that I will sit on this rating, and before the month ends, if this drops to let's say 800 or 900, then I will have to play it, so that just to keep myself in the top 1200. But so far this will be my final premier draft in this month, unless I will start losing this rank quite fast. So it's less than 2 weeks for the seasonal reset. So this will of course start decaying, but in limited it doesn't decay as fast as in constructed. This could be like, even in like a 10 days, this could still be like a 500 or so. And if it's 500, I'm not going to risk dropping it by helping into an event. I will only risk dropping it if it seems like I won't be finishing up in the top 1200 either way. So yeah, that was just a little bit mention about the strategy trying to finish at the top 1200. Anyway, next one will be a traditional draft, and the next one after that also, but there will also be in the coming weekend the draft challenge. So if you don't know about it, I suggest you check out the Strixhaven Draft challenge. You can just Google it up, you will find the article about it. So it's a higher stakes draft event which awards draft tokens. So I will be playing a ton of those, and I will of course be uploading all of those events to my channel. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.